Hey, what's going on, Aries? How are you? Aries, thanks so much for being here. I do appreciate y'all's time and I appreciate you sharing your energy with me today. Aries, I'm excited to get this read out because this read will be a very timeless read. So just real quick, what I mean by that is this read hopefully will resonate to you, no matter what the time restraints are, so usually how normally, we'll have a January read or a February read. Well, this won't be that, you know. If you have stumbled across this video, no matter how long after it's been uploaded, it's because you were meant to. Okay. Now, with that being said, some of the messages will not resonate with everyone, and that's okay. If it doesn't resonate to you, please don't force it. However, try to apply it in whatever, however it fits to you, but don't force the situation to be what it isn't. Okay. There are plenty of other readers that, love to do what they do as well as I do, and they will be more than happy to hopefully provide some of their insight if that's what you choose. But for here and for now, we're going to go ahead and dive into it, Aries. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, as well as maybe the cross watcher for Aries. Okay. So maybe someone connected with an Aries. And that's you. And you're here trying to figure out what they're up to. If they think about you. I do get that energy, actually, So Aries, let me say this. Yeah, I do feel like for some of you guys, this kind of could be the energy where like you, if this doesn't resonate for you, it could just be that, it resonates for the person who is thinking about you. Or has you on their mind. Okay. So you may get an idea of who I'm talking about, and then you'd be like, oh, yeah, you're talking about so-and-so. Yeah. All right, Aries. What was the overall connection? How was the connection with you guys? Please give us some information and insight just to tell us the overall description of what this connection was. True love. Oh, wow. Okay. So it was definitely a romance of a lifetime, or at least that's how you guys felt at some point during this relationship or during this time that you spent together. However brief it was. Forgiving and learning as you release and heal the past, you will experience more love in your present moments. I feel like okay, Aries, you may have met this person around the time of like maybe a breakup. And while you did feel a very true, sincere connection with them, there's just may have been some things that you just really had to get over in general. You may have felt, or you may have thought that you felt that you just weren't ready to dive into another relationship. You were still trying to learn lessons from the one that you just may have gotten out of right before meeting this person. The last card here is let your friends help you. Ask for help, or excuse me, ask for and accept support from others. Yeah. Aries. I feel like for some of you, this may have to deal with maybe like your friends were trying to introduce you to maybe someone new, someone else, maybe after a particular breakup, and the person that they introduced you to, like they got it right. They allowed you to meet someone that you do feel like you have a connection with, or maybe you had a connection with. Maybe some of you, upon meeting this person, maybe it was your friends, and that, if they didn't introduce you, then if they didn't actually introduce you, then maybe they, you did ask for certain advice, like, well, whether that was, should I do this? Should we do this? How do you feel? What do you think about this person? You might have been asking your friends that, I'm getting the sense like maybe they didn't really give you, if you were asking your friends about what you should do with this brand new person that really kind of came into your life after something ended, I feel like maybe your friends were just, either they didn't take it really seriously and the information that they gave you just wasn't that helpful to you in the decision making process, or it was your friends were the ones who set you up with this person in the first place, and it could have been where you felt like, although you guys had a beautiful what's the word, union for the time that y'all were in union, it's where you guys just or you may have felt as though it all occurred just way too prematurely before you really had a chance to really get over things from your past. So let's go ahead and look at the tarot and see what the tarot has to add here. Aries, how can the tarot please clarify for us? Please allow us to be able to interpret the message of spirit here for Aries. Okay, we got, hold on. Okay, so we got the Nine of Cups. Yeah, they gave you everything that you wanted, or at least they seemed as though they could. With the Nine of Cups, I just feel like on paper, it's like on paper you should have been feeling great about that. That maybe they were able to give you things that possibly the other person wasn't able to give you, and maybe that's why you were, you know, really head over heels for them. Eight of Coins. Okay, we'll get to those in a second. Nine of Cups, Eight of Coins. Yeah, I just feel as though, again, you know, you understood that there was, you know, effort that needed to be put in into, you know, clearing things out from the past. Like, I feel like with the Eight of Coins, it was like, you know, that you just necessarily had a lot of work. You had a lot of work to do. And with the Nine of Cups, it's like, it's really with the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Coins, I really take this as to say that, you know, to a certain degree, Aries, you always knew that, you know, you needed to really kind of clear things away from your past. You really had a very daunting task of clearing things away from your past to really move forward to this sort of like independent happiness, right? But what happened here is I'm definitely feeling as though, you know, things just happened way too prematurely, and you know, maybe the decision was made to put that effort into healing yourself as and standing alone and being more happy, as opposed to being put into the effort of this relationship. And I'm not to say that that was the wrong thing to do, Aries. I mean, honestly, I commend you on that, because, you know, usually after we break up with someone, we might want to feel like we want to jump into something brand new to be able to get over them. But Aries, I feel like here, you know, a lot of you already knew that you had work to do on your own, and you were willing to do that on your own and get to your own, you know, not the Ten of Cups, but the Nine of Cups, which is to feel like, to me, you know, to get to a point of emotional fulfillment within your own independence. You know, you knew that there was going to be a lot of work to do there, and you were willing to do it. But again, this person, though, this person that you met, you connected with them, but it just may have been a little bit premature for you. The Lovers. Yeah, big energy, big time energy. The Lovers and Temperance. Wow, interesting, Aries. And I say this is interesting because I view this, Aries, as to say that for some of you in this situation that you were in with this person, again, with the Lover's energy now, we completely see that you off the rip, you know, you understood that this person was probably the best choice that you could ever make. Or, you know, he or she was completely unlike the others and exceptional from the others, right? However, Aries, you made the choice here with the Temperance card. You made the choice to really kind of calm that down and say, no, I'm going to build and I'm going to work on myself. So there was a choice. And it wasn't like the choice between two different people. It was the choice of, you know, you taking on a new relationship versus you dealing with and healing from the fragments of your past relationship first. And with the Temperance card, you definitely decided to just kind of sit tight and just really just deal with your own energy. And Aries, you could have been dealing with definitely maybe a Sagittarius or Gemini. If not, then, I mean, it doesn't have to be, you know, but this is just for what I see. Let's get some clarification here on this, Aries. This is, oh man. And you know, that always sucks, right? You always meet some of the best people when you're unavailable. As if spirit is to say, okay, I'm going to put you in a position to have to actually make a choice for yourself, you know? And it wasn't a bad choice. I don't think that anybody, of course, I mean, you know, whatever choice that you make is always going to be for your better, you know, towards your better judgment, towards your, you know, your own success, which I hope so, you know. And I just feel like this was just one of those times, you know, you could have just been not wanting to, you know, put them through any unnecessary heartaches. You just weren't too emotionally available. And the emotions that you did have, I feel like they were reserved really just, you know, for you and for your bubble and your own personal bubble. But this person, though, y'all connected just a little bit before time. And I think your friends had a lot to do with that again. Either they introduced you to this person right after a breakup and, you know, it just kind of messed with the natural order of how you were supposed to meet this person. Or did it? Let's get some clarification here. Spirit, can you please clarify? Seven of Cups. Yeah. Yeah, Aries, you didn't want to, there's a sense where you didn't want to have to make this decision. You didn't want to have to make this decision out of your emotions, right? You wanted to be logical about this. You wanted to make sure you had all the facts. I feel as though it's like you were kind of standing here really looking at the situation like, okay, you know what, if I choose to be with them, you know, this could come with its own sets of pros and cons. But if I choose to just, you know, continue on my own path, then, you know, that's going to come with its own sets of pros and cons. And just what you chose, you know, it was just, you really kind of cleared away. You kind of cleared a path of all confusion. It's like, I feel like, honestly, Aries, I feel like you kind of did like a process of elimination in your mind. You may have played scenarios over and over in your mind, and you went with the less impactful scenario. But at the same time, I feel like it kind of was the most impactful scenario because, or the scenario that would have the most impact to the outcome of the situation, because it's the choice that allowed you to not, you know, pursue a deeper relationship with one another past initially meeting. Okay. So sometimes that can mean like confusion, but I think that Aries, I think that you were seeing through the confusion. You were seeing what was available to you, but I think that you felt as though to choose that would put yourself in a more foggy type of environment. And then the sun, yeah, so then the sun came out, cleared all that fog. You made your choice. You saw what was clear to do. You know, you had a moment of clarity, definitely. You saw exactly where you needed to put the work, what side you needed to choose. I feel like at this moment is where you have reached some sort of growth here. Okay? And I just feel, well, I don't want to say anything. Well, not that I don't want to say it. I just don't want to say it before I flip this card over. But maybe I do. Aries, it's like, okay, this is definitely your energy. I mean, I would say that this is like the card for Leo. I get the real Leo energy, but it's still that fire energy. You know, you really took on your own energy here. You really dealt with yourself. So some of you Aries, depending on when you're watching this video at some point, or you may be dealing with it now, but you are really coming into yourself. Okay. The decision that you made to really work on your own self allowed you to be able to see things clearly and come into your own. Okay. Of course, you know, that was at the detriment of, you know, this particular relationship or this budding type of relationship. Okay. I don't feel as though you feel that you missed an opportunity with this person, or that you feel like you chose or you regret the opportunity that you chose. I don't feel like that, Aries. I just feel as though there's just that energy of, you know, there's somebody out here who probably still has you on their mind for sure. And you probably know who this might be. You might know who this person is, rather. And then the Four of Cups. Okay, Aries, I feel as though this person, you might not regret the decision that you made, but I feel like this person, the decision that you made affected them to a degree where it may have thrown them into like a bit of maybe toxic activities, toxic behaviors, not willing to accept anything that might have been, you know, like, how can I say it? Like once you kind of left, once you decided not to, you know, build any more cups with them, it affected them to the degree where they really became closed off and they really maybe kind of shut down. I don't feel like they became a recluse. I just feel like they just kind of grew comfortable with what they had, being independent, like maybe in the party lifestyle, or like, maybe they went out a lot to like kind of cover up their feelings. And that just kind of developed into them just not really wanting to get into anything with anyone else for the fear of being rejected again. Like they kind of put themselves in timeout here on the love front. But don't beat yourself up about it, Aries. I mean, listen, what you did was you made a decision for yourself, okay? Because you probably may have done a lot more damage to this person as well as to yourself had you gotten into this relationship before you were ready, before you felt you were ready. Wow. Man, I just had a whole, like, I know this is like a new deck and they're kind of slippery, but I just had a whole bunch of cards fly out. And I'm not going to use them all. It was just way too many, but I did see a few of them. I'll reshuffle the deck, see if a few of those same cards pop up. But there's definitely a lot of unspoken words. Maybe you ghosted them, Aries. Maybe you ghosted them, and that's why they have a very negative outlook on pursuing things or going after things that it's like maybe they don't have a problem pursuing people, but like when people pursue them first, I feel now, Aries, like when people pursue them first, they have this thing where like they just kind of don't believe it, because it's like, wait a minute, I've been down this road before. You're going to pursue me. You're going to lead me to the cliff. ready to jump like the fool, and then you leave me to jump and you're still on the cliff. Yeah. If you could communicate anything to them, what would that be? If they could communicate anything to you, what would that be? How could you still love me after all I've done? Aries, this could be you. This could be you, like maybe, you know, if this person kind of pops up. I mean, I feel like this person could just kind of pop up at some moment. Or maybe they have popped up at some moment. Maybe just like this video popped up at just some random moment, right? Because it is timeless after all. So maybe they pop up around the same time, or I don't know, maybe that's how you're getting your confirmation. But at any rate, at some point, the way that you guys come back around to each other is like, I just feel like they kind of pop up. And maybe this time is when they pop up at the time that they were really originally supposed to. Before things kind of prematurely got started. And things maybe possibly pick up, you know, how they have left off. But at some point, I just feel like, you know, someone communicates, or someone has been communicating, you know, how can you still love me after all I've done? So Aries, I feel like for some of you, yeah, you might be like, you know, I'm sorry that, you know, what I did to you hurt you. You know, I just, you know, but, you know, you would just want to kind of understand, like, dang, even after all of these years of being apart, or all of this time, you know, like all of these other relationships that you decided not to, that Aries is, okay, let me be more, well, let me be 100% more clear here. It's like I'm feeling, Aries, is like you're processing this as to say, wow, like this person really like was affected by me and by the decision that I made. And it's not like, you know, like it hurts your, or it brings you to a point of pain, but maybe a point of like, you know, you do have a little bit of like empathy for them in the situation. Like, dang, like, you know, I chose to not be with them, and that caused them to do this and this and this. But it's like disbelief, right? Like after all these times, after all these years, after all, you know, whatever, even you may have been in and out of other relationships or flings or whatever, but it's like they possibly were saving a part of themselves for you, possibly. And you're like sitting there like, what? And when I say saving themselves from you, I don't necessarily mean like, you know, they were abstaining from sex or anything. I mean, they are human, but I just feel as though, you know, they just didn't develop anything deeper, anything past, you know, a party type of lifestyle. Maybe they might have dealt with somebody for a very short limited of time before, you know, when things start to present a more serious option, they were just like, nope. And it's because they were still hung up on you, Aries. You definitely did something to them. But, you know, inadvertently, it wasn't your fault. You know, you aren't responsible as to how someone else reacts, or, you know, how they feel, right? I mean, because ultimately you were making your own decision here to be your own better person and to heal. Being apart has been life-changing for me. Wow. Wow, there's this essence here again where, you know, I just feel like someone is just really, they really have you in their energy, Aries. Like, you're really on their mind. You're really on their mind. You're really in their heart. And again, I feel like, again, this message here, it just really kind of just speaks to, I feel like this is like a message from spirit, just to kind of give us some inkling into how they really felt at the time and how they may still be feeling, possibly. It's the last piece of advice here that we can get for Aries. Okay. We have card number 23. Take a chance on love. When we start to love, our lives are changed forever. I like that energy. Aries, I do like this energy because honestly, I really feel like in the end here, if this person comes back around in your radar, I definitely feel like you guys are both going to really take a chance on one another. You guys are going to have this conversation. You know, you're going to help them understand why you did what you did. They're going to tell you about their experiences after you and, you know, how they weren't really able to, you know, have any meaningful relationships with anyone because they may have been trying to reserve some sort of themselves for you because you hit some chord with them at some point in their life. You hit a chord with them that made you realize that you were their true love. And they waited for you to a degree. For you to be able to, you know, become this more enlightened person who looks at things with, you know, a lot less confusion and with more confidence. I do smell a reconciliation here, Aries, I do. But, you know, just look out for this energy, man. Like I said, you know, if you guys aren't dealing with it right now, it could possibly show up at some point. So, you know, you may end up using this video as a reference if you watched it prematurely. Well, anyways, Aries, yeah, let me know how this works out for you in the comment box. Of course, you know, I love all of your comments, your likes, your subscribes, of course, your subscribes, as well as your, you know, your, any engagement that you guys give me. I appreciate it, especially if it's constructive. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can. Just email me at LuminantLibraTarot@gmail.com. Again, please don't try to force any messages to you in any specific realm. If this does not resonate to you, then that's fine. Just take it for what it is, a message. You may need it later. You may not. All right, Aries. Peace out.